Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Hasim Rahman Jr., Jake Paul. As you guys know, it was no need to make a video because we know that the fight is canceled. It was canceled while I was doing my live stream due to weight issues. Now, according to Hasim Rahman Jr., Jake Paul is scared. I didn't pull out of the fight that was canceled, okay? And of course, we know they're not going to fight, and we've heard that already, okay? And in short, Rahman wasn't passing weight checks. The fight had been bumped from 200 to 205 pound limit. And then according to Paul's camp, Rahman wanted the limit to be 215, at which point they pulled the plug. Rahman says that he did not pull out of the fight, though to be clear, that's not really what the Paul camps are saying. But Rahman put out a couple videos on his Twitter account to address the issue. He said, "Look, I'm a bridgerweight. I campaign at bridgerweight, or otherwise known as heavyweight outside the WBC," he began. To be clear here, the WBC's bridgerweight limit is 224 pounds. They are the only sanctioning body who recognizes the division. Rahman continued. He said, "I signed the contract to make 200 pounds within the 3 or 3.5 weeks that I had to do it, but I couldn't do it. My body simply would not let me do it, would not let me go down to 200 pounds. But where in boxing do you see them canceling fights a whole week in advance? I didn't even get my last week to get down as low as I could. I told this man, if there's penalties involved, keep the purse, I'll fight you for 5,000 minimum. That's how much it means to me, and that's how much faith I have in knocking him out. I would have beat this man with one hand just like I did in the gym. But let him tell it. He already beat my ass in the gym when I was 230. So if you beat me up while I was 230, what's the problem in fighting me with when I'm 215? What's the problem fighting me at 212, at 210? It's clearly them not wanting to fight. It's not me pulling out of the fight. It's them not wanting the fight." Let me counterpunch. At this point, I couldn't agree more. Because when I first heard it last night, the first thing that popped in my mind was, you know what? This is the second legitimate boxer that Jake Paul's decided not to fight. See, even the Tommy Fury situation, Tommy Fury may or may not had issues coming to the States, you know, but he had an opportunity to go to the UK, okay? And I think he was going to offer Tommy Fury 500,000, which from 500,000 compared to 2 million, you know, that's shit. You're cutting off like 3/4 of the purse. So it would seem more likely that the fighter would say, hell no, I won't go when that type of thing happens. See, he could have at least negotiated, okay, how about you take half instead of 500,000? How about 1 million? How about let's chop half of your fight purse? Why would you have to do 3/4? 3/4 is excessive. It makes you think like, you know what? Maybe you took all that damn money because you already knew I wouldn't take that shit that little. You know what I mean? And, you know, you could look at it either way, but then, you know, people questioned if Tommy Fury was actually had the issues to come or had visa issues anyway to come here. So that kind of, you know, neither here or there. But in this situation, this man is a bridgerweight, big guy, you know. I mean, what she's going to do, he's Rahman Jr., okay? You know, if you know anything about Hasim Rahman Sr., he's a big guy. You know, that man is big. That man knocked out Lennox Lewis, right? That man was the first man to knock down David Tua. He's a big guy. And mind you that you have never heard of someone canceling. That's the truth. You've never heard that, you know, and for you to pull the plug, that's just like Tyson Fury not negotiating with the Anthony Joshua thing to fight Usyk. Like when something subtly happens, it's almost like that's the excuse to do what you're probably going to do or you had a mind to do anyway. Okay? Because Jake Paul could have said, you know what? I'll penalize you if you don't make the weight. But if you thought you could beat him anyway, you guys are big boys. Come on, man. Those guys are big. Jake Paul ain't no small ass dude. At 200 pounds, the difference between 200 pounds and 224 pounds, okay, there's no longer a weight limit issue at that point because you're all heavyweights anyway. Okay? So, because if we go back farther enough, cruiserweight really wasn't even a weight at a certain point of time. You know, but him snatching and pulling the plug on a fight like that, it just showed that, like, well, maybe he didn't want that fight. And it's just too convenient to me that Jake Paul would skip out of 2 fights with 2 legitimate boxers. You know, it makes it real hard to believe that, man, you mean to tell me you had 2 guys that both boxers and the shit fell through? It fell through? Really? Did it really? Did you have to pull the plug a week before the fight? You didn't even see what the man's weight was. You canceled the fight due to hearsay. So what makes us believe that we're going to see that fight anyway? Bars. You see what I mean? Because it's like, well, I hear you can't make the weight, so I'm going to pull the plug. Well, instead of inquiring to see, like, look, you know, this is what it is. And then if someone gave you prior knowledge to something, you already know what it was. So then you can't say, well, hey, this fight can't happen and this, that, and the other. It makes Jake Paul look very bad and very suspect. Because once again, what is the end result? The end result, a guy that is a YouTuber that's using boxing platform to make millions of dollars has once again skipped out on fighting a real boxer. So he is yet to fight a real boxer. Therefore, his credibility goes back down to 0. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Rahman claiming that Jake Paul is afraid. You guys tell me if he's afraid or not. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.